Good afternoon or good morning, wherever you are, and welcome back to Horse Racing Today for Terrific Terry Tuesday. StreamYard, the service that we use to put on the show, is changing some of the menu over there, and I'm hunting around trying to find things here to get the show started. So thank you, StreamYard, for making my job more challenging, but yet the new tools that they add are helpful as always. So welcome back to Terrific Terry Tuesday. Saludos from Bolivar, Venezuela, from Ramon Albornoz. Welcome. How do you do today? Long live Venezuela, I guess. Is that what he's saying right there? Or yes. Free Venezuela. Yeah, well, are you down there? Is that kind of dangerous to say? I would imagine, no? I agree with you. Everybody should be free, Ramon, for sure. That's where I stand on those issues. A little bit of, I don't know what you want to call it. But anyway, a couple of interesting things yesterday at Parx as the day went on. We did see speed come back into play, so hopefully we can see some of that today. No free track at Guaranteed Tip Sheet today, only 2 tracks. They can't get 50% of the merchandise away for free, but we are doing Parx Turf Paradise. Head on over there for that when the show is over at horseracingtoday.net. You'll see right here a recap of today's show along with a replay. In the description, we will timestamp every race. And while you're there, hit that HRT gear. Start off your new year looking fantastic in anything that Horse Racing Today does. All right, Terry, this is what we do. We pick races starting in race number 1.
All right. So in race 1, we're going to go off at 6.5 furlongs. And it's going to be a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price. $21,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 4 races.
Yes, and to win that 4th race at the distance today, 6.5 furlongs. We saw a bunch of them yesterday. Usually early speed does pretty well. 35% of the time they go wire to wire. You do want to be middle forward as stalking is the best position. Inside posts are better than outside posts. 1,000 simulations, Terry, to see who has the best chance to get to the lead in race number 1, and it sure looks like one of them has a great chance to get to the front.
That's right. That 7 shows all the speed a lot of speed compared to the rest of them. So it should get there to that quarter pole first. The 5 has an overlay from 9-1 to 15-1. 6 has an overlay from 8-1 to 10-1. 8 has an overlay from 4-1 to 20-1. And the 9 has an overlay from 3-1 to 5-1. All of them show par plus numbers, and they all show C zones, especially the 4.
Yes, comfort. The par plus number refers to, in our 1,000 simulations, how many times the horse ran a speed figure equal to or better than the par speed figure, 80 in this case. Along with 1,000 simulations, we do trip handicapping. These horses want to lead. These horses want to close. These horses want to be somewhere in between. The EP and PCs are more versatile. The beginning of the race, if pace makes the race. Plenty of early pace in here, Terry. The 7 will definitely be challenged. At the end of the race, Big John and Rabbit, those 2 will be coming the fastest, but you see some red here, so they might be a bit off the pace. Finally, our top total pace horses are the 6, the 7, the 2, and the 10. Well, the 9 in that mix as well. They're about a length better than the rest, and ordinarily the top 4, in this case 5, produces the winner about 70% of the time. Who's your winner today?
Well, I like the 7 one-way traffic, finished 3rd versus Tougher in his last race. He has the best start speed among today's starters and the highest last speed rating. He has a high percentage winning trainer, and this trainer wins 30% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse. Then I like the 9 Rabbit. He ran 2nd versus similar in his last race, winning the prior race. Switches to a high percentage winning jockey and a high percentage winning trainer. The 2 Tropic Storm, my 3rd pick, has a high speed figure at today's distance, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then the 6, My Man Woody, is my long shot, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and his early speed running style helps his chances. No additional bets for me here.
I'm going to start with that 7. Ran the top last race. Speed figure was 5 points clear of the next closest horse. Better early speed, better fractions last out. You got Jamie Ness on a track and class dropper. Probably going to be your winner. Number 9, Rabbit, like you, Terry, same exacta. Highly consistent performer, is the simulation favorite in an open race. Number 6, My Man Woody from Toy Story, just needs to run back 2 races to get the W here. And 2 races ago, it was in the mud, just like today. And then the 2-horse Tropic Storm, 3 consecutive speed figure increases, and doing that by holding its speed a little bit longer last time out. We're looking at our board right now for value, Terry. The 9-horse is 3-1. It's 7-2, so maybe a little bit of value in that horse. The 5-horse, 39-1. Some value there. We have it at 9-1. The 1-horse, that's the 2-horse, 7-1, straight on there. So really not a lot of value in this race. It's just for the 5, a big long shot. Maybe that one you put in your exactors or trifectors, or who knows? Maybe it finds its way across the finish line first. Again, the track looks kind of deep there. Yesterday, the deep track meant closers did pretty well. So we'll see if that 7, whom we said would get to the lead and has gotten to the lead, being challenged by the 5-horse, another that we said that would be in the mix, and then the 6 in there as well. So going according to plan, at least so far, Terry. The 7 is at 4-5. The 5-horse, the one that we said offered some long shot ability, 35-1 in third, so maybe finishes in the money. That 6-horse, my man Woody, at 6-1 is to the outside of the 7 as they ran through the opening quarter in 22.5 seconds. Looks like my man Woody has some work to do today because he's saying hasta la vista, baby, to the 4-5, 7-horse. They come around the turn. The 7 and the 6 continue to set the tone. They are approximately 2 lengths ahead of the 5-horse, still remaining in that mix. No, that's the 9-horse who has since moved into third. That 6-horse is charging away. The 9-horse is also moving into the mix. So right now, it looks like it's going to go 6, then 9. The 7-horse is really faltering. The 9-horse is trying to get down to the rail. That 5-horse, that bomb, Terry, getting back into the mix.
Wow.
It does work its way into the trifecta. It goes 6, 9. I think that was the 11 coming in at the end. So we have the exacta in our bets there, Terry. Not a good sign for speed, folks, that 7-horse backed up like that again. The end of the card yesterday, speed did hold up. Doesn't look like it's going to be today. The 6-horse shot out of a barrel right there. And first who can't win? Well, anybody but the 6 can't win right now, Evo. The 6 won the first race. So that means, Terry, we're going to let him know in the comment section that the 6 won the first race. And then we're going to do what's next. And that is race number 2. What's that one all about?
All right. We're going to stretch out to 1 mile and 16th. It's an allowance race, $10,000. It's $50,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $10,000 or less in 2023 or 2024. So
1 mile and a 16th. None of that on the card yesterday. Early speed, well, it does well usually, but not been the case at Parx, at least early on the card. 40% of the time, the horse that gets the lead keeps the lead and turns left into the winner's circle, or maybe it's a right turn. I'm not sure. Post positions are mostly fair, although Sergeant Kobe, the real horse, gets a little bit of a bonus. Back to our 1,000 simulations. Terry, tell us about the best chance to be on the front in this race.
Well, it looks like it's anyone's guess, but those 4 outside horses have most of the speed, and they're all pretty close. So just really, nobody really knows, or at least I don't know. The 2 has an overlay from 9-2 to 15-1. The 5 has an overlay from 2-1 to 6-1. The 9's overlay is a very small 9-2 to 5-1. All but the 4 show par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones.
Yeah, on the C zone, we're looking for a score of 50% or more. And what the C zone measures is we check out the early pace right here, and then we overlap the horse's best race with today's projected pace to see how closely today's race will match the best performances. So there's a 91% chance King of Hollywood and Divine Miracle will like the way this race plays out today. In the second race, our race shape tells us we have no pure front runners. Everybody wants to be middle back. Maybe getting to the front here could be advantageous. King of Hollywood, greener pastures, they'll be out front, but really not a big edge over the rest of the horses, except for maybe the 2 and the 4. At the end, we just saw late speed crush it right there, winning on weekends with the most late speed, about 6 points clear, 7 points clear of Hermoso Hombre, meaning it's about 1.25 lengths better than the rest down the stretch. Top total pace does belong to winning on weekends, Terry. Does winning on weekends win this one at the end?
Well, I like the 9 Greener Pastures as my top choice. He's won 4 out of the last 5 starts, and he has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 42% of the races after dropping a horse off a win, and he has a high percentage winning jockey as well. 6 King of Hollywood is my second choice, has won 3 out of the last 4 starts. He has a trainer who wins 23% of the races when shipping a horse in to run. Winning on weekends, the 5 that you talked about likes Parx Racing. He's been on the money 47% of the races, winning 35% of those starts. The distance hasn't been a problem. Been in the money 50% of the time, winning 36% of the start. And then I like Divine Miracle, the 7. He has won he's won 2 races in a row and goes for a hat trick. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and that combination in the last 14 days have won 3 out of 7 starts. And I'm going to do my first Miami Vice Don Johnson pick 4. I'm going to use the 2, 5, 6, 7, 9 with the 7, 8, with the 1, 6, 8, 9, 10, with the 5, 10. I think that's a $50 ticket.
Yes, indeed. And that is our budget, $50. And the reason it's $50 is because TVG gets $60. So we got to do better than TVG in there. Hello, Samiria, Jenna, how are you, please? Right here is the 6-horse one. There you go. Okay, you got that one. All in rabbits. All right, M10, all in on rabbits. That's what rabbit? What race is there? I'm not sure. Anyway, Terry, in race number 2, for me, I like the 9-horse as the top selection. Greener Pastures, Jamie Ness, Jamie Ness, Michael Sanchez, those 2, not Ruben Sierra. They used to run together, Severa. You got to have this combination anytime they run at Parx. They won 4 or 6 at the distance. Number 7, Divine Miracle, did run the top last speed figure. That was 3 points clear of anybody else. Does tend to pair good efforts together. Winning on the weekends. Boy, this one, Terry, is going to be rolling at the end. It is our sim favorite. And the last time this horse came off the sidelines like today, it found the winner's circle. And then King of Hollywood, that 6-horse, that's your morning line favorite right there. It is an invader with early speed, but I'm not quite sure if it's a track drop, track rise, or track what, because it was running at bigger tracks, if I remember correctly. Then tried his luck at Penn, and I'm not the biggest fan of the Penn to Parx angle in there. The 6-horse won the first race, guys. Pay attention. Race number 3, Terry, is what we're going to do next. What's happening there?
Okay, in race 3, we're gonna go to 6.5 furlong. It's an allowance race, $10,000. Purse $50,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not started for a claiming price of $10,000 or less in 2023 and 2024.
6.5 furlongs, as we mentioned on the opener, does tend to favor stalkers. We saw a horse come from off the pace there and just run by everybody with the 6. 35% go wire to wire. There is an inside to outside bias, although with this muddy track, it seems like the outside horses are doing better than the inside horses, Terry. So maybe speed holds up. I mean, I don't know. It's not been holding up, but it did hold up later on in the afternoon. Who's going to have the Jets when the gates open here?
Well, they all show speed, but the 2 shows the most speed. So if it can get out of that gate okay and jockey makes good decisions, it could get that quarter pole first. The 2 also has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 5 to 1. 3 has an overlay from 9 to 2 to 12 to 1, and the 5 has an overlay 7 to 1 to 20 to 1. All but the 4, 6, and 9 have par plus numbers, and all of them have C zones.
Our shape for this one. Let's see if we can find any in-race edges. Well, you got a couple up here, 2, 3, 4, and 8. They want to be forward. Wow, this group right here has a lot of versatility. So far, the 5-horse, DePoli, not within 5 lengths of leader at the finish line. I want tactical speed here. Yeah, I definitely probably want somebody who's going to be sitting in that 3rd or 4th position. Looks like Trader's Luck, like Salt Shaker, they'll be in the front. The 6 and the 8 will be in that 3rd and 4th. They might be the ones that dictate the outcome of this race. At the end of the race, Roan Burgundy, like a Salt Shaker, no easy days. They have the most late speed, but there's really not a big difference from top to bottom there. So I do think being forward will be the place to be. Top total pace horses like a Salt Shaker, then Trader's Luck, no easy days. Again, a very competitive race here, only 15 points from top to bottom. So you got to make sure you get a good trip, Terry. Who's going to get the best in your view?
Well, I'm taking the 8 Baracho, which is my pick of the day for at Parx. He's I'm looking for maybe a little price here. He has won 6 out of the last 7 starts. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I like the 7 like a salt shaker. Ran second in his last race. His early running style will help his chances. And he has a high percentage winning trainer. Trader's Luck, the 2, likes Parks Racing. He's been in the money 78% of the time and won 28% of the starts. And at today's distance, he's been in the money 85% of the time and win 14% of those starts. And then I like the number 6 horse, No Easy Days, of my long shot. Won his last race, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to bet $10 to win, 20 to place on number 8, an exacta, $5 exacta box, 2, 7, and 8, $10 exacta 8 on top with the 2, 7, 8. Whoop, I'm sorry, with the 2, 7, 6, with the 2, 6, 7. And then $5 double 8 with the 1, 9.
There's supposed to be 2, 6, 7 right here. 2, 6, and 7. That's it. That heats itself up top, right?
Yeah.
I have the 2 horse. The top of my ticket here. That one is Trader's Luck. Does have some early speed, better fractions last time out. Does absolutely love this distance in the money. 6 of 7 as our simulation favorite. Number 7, like a salt shaker, track dropper, consistent performer, loves to win at the distance. 4 times out to the winner's circle in 7 tries. Didn't hit the board in any of the other 3. Your bet of the day, Baracho. That is that Jamie Ness. Mikel Sanchez. Again, you can't miss out on that duo there. 3rd start after a layoff. Very classic handicapping angle. Only problem for me is this guy's all or nothing at Parx too. 7 times out. No seconds, no thirds, and just a pair of W's. And then Agrandize, the 1 horse, did run the top last race. Speed figure 3 points better than the rest. Is a class drop. Only reason I didn't rank this one higher is because the last time he peaked, he regressed the next time out. So he's got to show that he can put back-to-back big efforts together to get more confidence from me. Let's confidently move forward to race number
4. It's 6 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $5,000 claiming price, $18,000 purse. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since June 30th.
The most common distance at pretty much every track at Parx for sure. 6 furlongs favor stalkers. Again, usually a big number, a little bit better than 1 out of 3. Gate to wire champions. There is an inside to outside bias. So if Buxom has some speed, Terry could be one to look at in race number 4. Does he have one? This one's pretty balanced.
Well, most of them have speed, but the 8 and the 9 show the most speed. They could go head-to-head to that quarter pole, and that 2 has an overlay from 10 to 1 to 15 to 1. The 3 has an overlay from 7 to 1 to 20 to 1. All but the 7 have par plus numbers, and all of them have C zones.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty open race. In the 4th race, we're looking at, well, most of the race horses want to be middle back. Could give the horses in the middle to the front the best opportunity to win. Oh, look at this, Terry. Everybody except the 3 within 9 points, so within 2 lengths. It means you can't get forced wide. You can't get stuck behind other horses. Good chance to get shuffled back if you don't get out early. We do see some edge here in the late speed, particularly from the 6 and the 3, much quicker than everybody else, with the 6 having the early edge on the 3. Your top 4 total pace horses in here in a very competitive spot. 6, 9, 1, and then the 4. Maybe the winner comes from there, Terry. Maybe the winner comes from here. We both started with the 9.
Yeah, I like Confirmed Genius. She's won 44% of her starts at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer, switches to high percentage winning jockey. The 1 Buxom is my second choice, finished 3rd in her last race, and the Rail Post is winning at a 19% clip. Forest Maiden, the 6th, 3rd choice, drops in class today. As a trainer, wins 18% of the claiming races he has a horse running in. And then I like the A as my long shot. She drops in class. Her early running style helps her chances. She has a high percentage winning. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. I'm going to play the second pick 4, Miami Vice, Don Johnson, 1, 6, 8, 9 with the 1, 5, 9, 10. With the 1, 2, 5 with the 1, 2, $48 ticket.
I put $48 in my ticket too. Just a little bit different balance. Maybe seeing the races pretty much the same. I like the 9-horse 2 Confirmed Genius. Is a class dropper. Decent workouts coming off the bench. Number 6, Forest Maiden, his second call for me. Most late speed, and in this group, won't be all that far off the pace. Number 4, Shell Bell. That one's third. Fired off the bench the last time this horse won, and coming off the bench today. So maybe one of those horses that comes out of the barn hot and ready to go. And then Buxom, the 1 horse, rides the strong rail. And a chance to be better in the second start after layoff. A little bit of a mixed bag in that respect. 4, 6, 9 over the 1, 5, 9, and 10. We see the horse racing exactly the same in the middle. 1, 2, 5. I added the 6, and we both ended with 2 horses on the end. I think we both see the 1 horse as the primary threat to win in that race. Race 5 takes us to the closing half of the first half of this 10-race card. Terry, we'll be off for New Year's Day, but we'll return on Thursday for Gulfstream Park. To make sure you don't miss Gulfstream Park on Thursday, or most likely Hong Kong for Foreign Friday. On Friday, Terry, how do you not miss any of that good stuff?
Well, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the little bell. That'll give you a notification about all the different programs, and go down to that bottom of there and copy that link and share it with all your friends, neighbors, relatives, everything you know, everybody you know, so you can come check us out. Go to our social sites such as X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky, and give us at Horse Race the number 2 day, and give us a thumbs up and a like. That really helps us out a lot. Keep these comments and race picks coming as we enjoy seeing them, and also it helps us out with algorithms.
Well, Scary Creations talks about the 10 horse in race number 4. If I had a chance, well, sometimes I wish that was my, that's how I feel about life sometimes. If I had a chance, I don't know about you, Terry. Yeah, is making the 3rd start after a layoff, is dropping in class there. Did show some improvement early on last time out. Did see that the fractions were pretty similar in there. Could get into the mix. Does seem like it likes the distance, likes the track for sure. Does have a little bit of a weight break in there. Might be one that we overlooked. I can tell you, Scary, for me, it was the very next horse. Also like the fact that Scott Lake is an owner and a trainer on that horse. But as you mentioned yesterday, Terry, sometimes you got to make decisions, right?
That's right. It was my first alternate, so there you go.
Same as for me there. So on to race number 5 we go, Terry. What are the what's the situation here?
Okay, it's a mile and 70 yards, and it's a claiming race, $15,000 claiming price, purse $28,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since September 30th. Claiming races for 12.5 or less are not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
Well, the $170 on that muddy track today. Well, when it's fast track, normally early speed wins 37% of the time. On the front is the best course of action to the finish line. Mostly fair from the post position standpoint, although Vine Jet gets a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7, they get discounted a little bit. Terry, we always emphasize speed. Usually speed is the way at Parx. If their speed is the way in this one, looks like 2 of them have the best chance.
Yeah, they all show some speed, but the 5 and 7 show the most speed. They could go head to head to that quarter pole. The 2 has an overlay 16-1, 20-1. The 4's overlay is from 6-1 to 8-1, and the 9 has an overlay from 2-1 to 4-1. All but the 6 and 8 have par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones.
Yes, indeed. So a couple of them in there with some pretty strong C zones in there. So we'll see if that's indeed a race that offers opportunities for many horses to win. Immediately, 2 things stand out when I look at this. You got the 1 and the 3. They're 2 Sesame Street horses. They're unlike any of the others. It could get excellent trips. Otherwise, the field is pretty well balanced. You have a few that want to be forward, a few that want to be in the back, 1 in the middle. A lot of flexibility with 6 horses having either an EP, so they can be on the leader pressure, or PC types that can be anywhere. This race has a lot of different ways to the winner's circle. Looks like Supreme Law and Silent Mode, their way to the winner's circle is on the front. I'd give the 2 the slight edge because it is to the inside. If late speed continues to dominate, does look like Hay Porter, the Sesame Street closer. That one does have the most late speed, but going to be pretty far off the pace relative to the rest of these. Our top 4 horses, The 9, the 5, the 10, and the 3. They're 6 points clear of the rest, so at least a length better than all of them, Terry. Any of them make it to the top of your ticket?
Well, I like the 10, Reality. He won his last race, has the highest last speed rating, and switches a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like the 5, Supreme Law. He has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 29% of the races. When taking a horse from a sprint to a route, first money, the 9 likes Parx Racing. He's been on the money 56% of the time and won 44% of the starts. And he likes the distance. He's been in the money 50% of the time, winning 33% of the starts. My long shot is the 1 horse Vine Jet. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 50% of the races in the second race after claiming a horse, and a high percentage winning jockey. No bets for me as I'm out of money.
Re-Rally, the 10 horse, did run the top last race speed figure. It was a handful of points better than the rest. And then he got claimed, and the trainer wins 21% of the time. First time he trots a horse out after claiming it. First money, that 9 horse, that is our simulation favorite in there. That one's an all or nothing at Parx, basically. 9 times out, won 4 of them in a close second, off the board in all of the others. The 5 horse, Supreme Law, in a race where we both see the same 4 horses as your main contenders. You got Jamie Ness, Mikel Sanchez again. This one is a class dropper, but so far, 2 tries at Parx, he's not touched the money as of yet, so maybe not a fan of the Ben Salem track. And then we both put the 1 horse fourth. Vine Jet, highly consistent performer, does have the most back class in the race, and I think a lot of other horses might have a say in this one as well. Interesting that we both settled on the same 4 horses in there. The first one on the 6th horse. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Juan. We appreciate that. Speaking of 6s, we're going to make our way to the back half of the card. That means race 6 is on tap for you and I.
All right, we're going back to 1 mile and 70 yards, claiming $7,500 claiming price, purse $20,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since September 30th.
Back to back at $170. As I mentioned, early speed usually is the way to go to the winner's circle. About a little under 40% usually win on the front. Most positions are fair post position wise, but Spites the Red gets a little bit of a bump, and 4 through 7 get a little bit of a drop. Once again, Terry, as we talk about who's going to be where, who's going to be on the front when the race gets going.
Well, as you see there, they all have speed, and there's 3 or 4, maybe 5 that have similar speed. So I think it's an anyone's guess race. The 1 has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 6 to 1. The 11 has an overlay from 7 to 1 to 12 to 1. And then all show par plus, and all but the 7 show C zones.
Again, focusing on those that have 50% or more. Isn't that right, Scary? You like those? Mr. D'Souza likes those too. In the 6th race, this one really kind of looks like a triangle, right? From the front to the back. So that usually means horses that get forward have a tactical edge. Doesn't always play out that way. Jakahari, the 8 horse, the EP type with the most speed. The 1 horse, Spites the Red in there. That 5 horse, Rondon Scorsese, might be lead dependent, might not get the lead, might have to work too hard if he does. Maybe that's one that does tail off at the end. Late speed belongs to Last Romance, but plenty of horses in here with plenty of giddy up and go at the end. This looks like a very competitive race again, Terry. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 horses, all within 6 points of one another. Any one of those can win. Which one do you think it might be?
I like the 5, Rondon Scorsese. He won his last race. He has the highest last speed rating at today's distance, and he has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Spites the Red, the 1 is my second choice, finished second his last race as a favorite, but his high percentage winning trainer wins 29% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back again. Roman Empire, the 2 is my third choice, finished third versus Tougher in his last race, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning jockey. And then number 9, Musical Heart, finished in third in his last race. His best dirt speed is fast among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. No additional bets for me here.
So in here we have Scary coming back to Affy Kid. Says likes the mud. 21%, second off the layoff. All right, there you go. Maybe, I mean, in the mud, and especially those horses that show some late speed, they're really doing pretty well the last couple of days. So I think you're going to see that the trend continue. Although yesterday it was weird in the afternoon, like in the first half of the races, it was come off the pace. In the second half of the races, it get to the front and stay there. So it was kind of an odd day. The way I think this race goes, I think Spites the Red on that rail gets the job done. 3 consecutive speed figure increases. That's a 15% angle for Barry Meadows, who hangs out at some donut shop in Los Angeles. It's also the sim favorite. Rondon Scorsese ran a little bit more than a second faster in his last race. That's usually a sign of a horse that's coming in to form. Concealed Carry. Next up on my list, that one is the 3 horse. What? Were we in race 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at race 7. Rack-a-tap tap, the 6 horse. There we go. That's next on my list. Highly consistent. Going to be closing. That's been kind of the way to get to the winner's circle and catching a weight break. And then finally, I think I'm in race number 6. So I'm going to go with Roman Empire. That one's in the race for sure. The 2 horse. That one won the last time. He came off the sidelines, coming off the sidelines again today. And a pair of okay workouts getting ready for the day. Race number 7 starts the late pick 4, Terry, and also starts a series of $75,000 stakes races.
Yeah, it's the Chris Kringle Stakes. It's $75,000 purse, as you said, a mile and 16th, and it's for 3-year-olds and upward.
So at a mile and a 16th, we'll see this coming up, I think, in race number 2. So keep an eye on the outcoming race to get an idea of what the bias might look like in the Chris Kringle Stakes. But so far in a mile and a 16th, 40% of the horses that get the lead at the quarter-mile marker also collect the checkered flag. Post positions are mostly fair, although awfully cool. It's going to get a little bit of an edge there in that position. Terry, take it away.
Another race where they all show speed, and it's anyone's guess race, I think. And then the one has an overlay from 5 to 2 to 6 to 1. 3's overlay is from 4 to 1 to 5 to 1. All of them have C par plus and all have C zone numbers.
Our race shape for the first of these balanced race: 4 forward, 4 in the back. Although you have 3 of them that want the lead, whichever one doesn't get there, whichever one finishes third, could be in trouble. Well, Concealed Carry is the fastest. That's the 3 horse. The Repo Rocks, that PC horse. A little bit of a left arrow action. Awfully cool that 1 horse should be in the mix too. And if it gets the lead, look out, because it does have the most late speed ahead of the 7 and the 2. It is your top total pace horse. 6 points, a little bit more than a length and a quarter, quicker than Market Maven or Surface to Air. So it looks like either take some front runners, Terry, or take some closers. You and I both went with the horse that should be right off the pace.
Yeah, and the race, I think, is going off at Parx Racing, the second race, isn't it?
Now let's take a look and see what's cooking on race number 2. Indeed it is. So let's rewind back to race number 2 and see what's cooking here. So right now in race number 2, the 7 horse, Divine Miracle. That one is on the front. Right behind it is the 5 horse, winning on weekends. The 5 horses on the rail, and then the 9 horse sitting comfortably in third. The 6 horse, that one's in fourth. They went some pretty slow fractions there, 51 seconds. So speed doesn't hold up here. It ain't ever going to hold up, Terry.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you and I can almost run that fast. It looks like of the front 3 horses, the front 4, it looks like the 6 horse is giving up ground. Looks like the 2 horse is going to run on by him, Hermoso Hombre, on the rail. Buck 15. I mean, these 3 horses up front should remain the 3 horses up front at those fractions. It does look like right now the 9 horse is taking over. Going to get ahead of the – it's going to be between the 9 and the 7, it looks like. The 5 horse really not getting involved. The 9 and the 7 are going to duke it out to the wire, though the 9 horse has a little bit of an edge, and he is pulling away. Those 2 are yards and yards and yards and yards and yards ahead of the rest. It's going to go 9, 7, 2, and then it looks like the 3 horse snuck up in there as well. So 9, 7. Terry and I are both alive on our pick 4s. And now we go back to race number 7, was it we were on?
Yeah, it's race 7, and I'm going to tell you what I like in here. So I like the number 1, Awfully Cool. He has finished in the money in 9 races out of the last 10 starts and won 4 of those, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 2, Surface to Air is my second choice. Has won 2 races in a row, going for a hat trick, and he has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Repo Rocks, the 3, is my third choice. Drops in class today.
That one's the 8 horse. Did you mean to be the 8, or did you mean to be?
Yeah, 8. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the 8.
All right, so then you got to change some of this stuff up here too. But okay,
Yeah,
let me go back and. That's all right. Go ahead.
Okay, so anyway, he drops in class today. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Irish Cork is the long shot. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and he has a highest speed favorite today's distance. He has a 5 furlong workout, a bullet workout on December 4th. And so I'm going to play the last pick 4. I'm going to use the 1, 2, 7, and 8 with the 1, 2, 5, 8 with the 2, 8 with the 2, 4, 5, $48 ticket.
Lonesome Boy is a true mud lover in here. In fact, never won on a fast track. Won 4 out of 6 in the mud, and it's supposed to rain more this afternoon. Yeah, because you're going to get that weather that we had here. I like the 1 horse too. Awfully Cool. Top total pace, 6-point sim favorite. Parx 6 times out, 4 wins, a second and a third in the seconds. They just missed. So really likes that track. Number 8, Repo Rocks, ran a little bit more than a second faster in its last race. Concealed Carry, that horse ran a longer race last time out, but ran faster fractions. So you go longer, you run faster. That's doubly fast in there. And then finally, I'm going to end it up with the 6 horse, Market Maven. The horse should be better in the second start after a layoff. My pick 4, I'm going to go 1, 3, 8 over the 1, 5, 8, 2, 8, and then 4, 5, 7, 10, and 11 in a wide open last leg. Also, I'm going to put a little bit of my $100 Benny in the Bets money to work here. I'm going to do a $4 pick 4. I'm going to single the 1, Awfully Cool. Hope they get some good odds on that one. I'm going to go all in the second leg. So if I win the first one, I'm definitely going to make it to the third one. And then I'm going to close it out with another single in race number 9, the 8 horse. The second, Terry, of these $75,000 stakes races, race number 8.
Yes, and it's 7 furlongs, and it's a Blitzton stakes race. It's a $75,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upward.
I feel like these Christmas themed races should have been last week, right? You got Chris Kringle, you got the Blitzen, or maybe they were last week, and when they got canceled over there for all of the rain. Could be, yeah, maybe that's the case. 7 furlongs, we had a bunch of them yesterday. Ordinarily, stalkers do good. Michael Jordan, 23% of the time they go wire to wire. There's an inside to outside bonus, Terry. Which ones on the inside have the speed?
Okay, well, the 6 has the most speed in here, as you can see. Well, wait a minute. 6 got scratched, huh? In this 8th race? Well, then let's see. Since the 6 got scratched, I guess the 1 horse has the most speed. And then the 2 has an overlay from 4 to 1 to 6 to 1. 5 has an overlay from 3 to 1 to 6 to 1, and the 8's overlay is 3 to 1 to 6 to 1. All but the 4 have par plus numbers, and all of the horses have C zones.
Let's just double check on this. This is race number 8, right, that we're talking about?
Yeah.
So race 8, indeed, the 6 horse has been sidelined.
Yeah.
Our race shape for race number 8, well, you got Lone E out here with the 9. So if Mastermind can get the lead, its confidence shall grow. Everybody else wants to be middle back. Let's see, does the 9 have a shot at that lead? No, well, maybe, maybe not. Some of the horses to its inside, everybody kind of in the same zip code. So just about anybody can get forward. Having some late speed and being forwardly placed, probably the ticket to the end zone right there. Windsor Gold fits that bill nicely, as does the 5 horse. Our top total pair looks like the 5 and the 8 again with the 2. A big drop off from there. So maybe just the 2, 5, and 8. Everybody else, Terry, do you have the 5, 2, or 8 in your picks?
I like the 1, Nelson Avenue. He won 2 races out of the last 4 starts, drops in class today. The Rail Post is winning at a 18% clip. He has a high percentage winning jockey. Number 8, Windsor Gold, second choice, won his last start, has a high percentage winning jockey trainer. 2, One More Scoop, third choice, ran second his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I like the 5 Beeson. He has won 2 races out of the last 3 starts, and he has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. He's my long shot. I don't have any money, so they're more bets for me.
Well, Visan is your simulation favorite, does have a bullet workout between races and a ton of late speed. So if that rain comes back and that speed moves on, late speed moves on, Visan should be the one to focus on. The 8-horse Windsor Gold, that one, Kendrick Kamush comes in to ride. This horse was better across the board with all of its pace and turns last out. Then that Nelson Avenue wide trip in the Cigar Mile should be forward versus this crew in here. One more scoop. The 2-horse. This guy just loves to finish second and hang at the end of races. So let's put him fourth because he loves to finish second. Great reasoning right there. But should be involved for a piece of the pie as well. 2 races to go. The third of the $75,000 winter Christmas themed stakes races. Terry, which one is this?
This is 7 furlongs. It's a Mrs. Claus stakes race, 75,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
So we had Chris Kringle, Santa. We got the Blitzen in the middle, and then the Mrs. Claus. I like that setup in there. 7 furlongs, as we mentioned in the race before. You do want horses that are middle forward. Usually about 23% of the time, the horse that gets the lead keeps the lead and finishes in the winner's circle. We do find that inside is better than outside, Terry. So any inside speed in the beginning of the late pick 4, late daily double. Pardon me.
Yeah, well, the 5, I guess he's a little bit inside since that 1 and 3 got scratched. But the 5 and the 8 show the most speed, and especially the 8. They're going to go head-to-head to that quarter pole. The 2 has an overlay from 5-1 to 6-1. The 6 overlay is from 5-2 to 12-1. And the 9's overlay is 5-1 to 12-1. All but the 2 and 7 have par plus numbers. And all of them have C zones. And the 8 has a nice Q30.
The first time today we talk about that. Usually horses that have a Q30 of 30% or more, those horses, according to James Quigg in his book, The Complete Handicapper, can bet them blindly because they turn a positive ROI. Let's see if the 8-horse has a reason to turn a positive ROI here. Well, EP type. This race can go a lot of different ways because these horses don't need the lead. They can sit somewhere in here, or they can go to the front if the race is too slow early on. You mentioned the 5 and the 8, the most likely to go forward, and that's what we see here too. So I suspect maybe the 5 gets to lead, the 4 tries to keep up, and the 8 sits in that shotgun position. They come down the stretch for home. Dr. Abbey, about 3/4 of a length quicker than everybody else as the lone closer. But, man, that one might be completely off the picture at the start of the race. When it's all said and done, the top total pace horse is Irish Maxima. That is 9 points clear of Disco Ebo. So the 2 front runners look like they go to the front, Terry, and the 8 pulls away at the end. How do you see it?
I see it that way as far as the 8. The 8, Irish Maxima, is my first choice. Has won 5 out of 8 career starts, and she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Then I like number 2, Confirmed Star. Ran second in her last race, winning 2 prior races, and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 5, Disco Ebo, is my third choice. She ran third in her last race. Her best start speed is fast among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning trainer and switches a high percentage winning jockey. 4 is my long shot, Nature's Candy. Ran second in her last race and has a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets for me here.
And then I'm going to go with Irish Maxima, too, as the top of mine. Top last race speed figure, 10 points clear. That means that one's got to come down a lot, or everybody else got to go up a lot. Top total pace, 9 points. Again, same scenario. Everyone's got to come up, or that one's got to come down. This one's run at Parx 2 times. Terry, you know how many times he's won?
Twice.
Yes, indeed. Undefeated. Number 2, Confirmed Star. Aside from the 8-horse, the only other horse in the field that has a par race on its recent resume. Disco Ebo, the 5-horse. If the 8's not on the lead, the 5 probably will be. This is the third start after a layoff, so that late race stamina ought to be there. And then finally, Kiss Me Hardy, the 9-horse. Very consistent performer. That will be coming at the end of the race, and having late legs has meant finishing in the money. I'm going to spend the bulk of my bucks here, Terry. 30 to win, 20 to place on that 8-horse, $2 double, 8 over the 4, the 5, the 7, the 10, and the 11. In other words, I think the last race, anybody can win, Terry. I almost went all in that leg. But before we go on to a leg where any horse could win, the best way folks watching can win to make sure that we don't miss any of our upcoming shows, Terry, 2025, I expect it to be an exciting year. Not to miss anything in 2025, Terry, what's the best thing to do?
Well, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel, especially if you're watching today and you haven't subscribed. And then go ahead and hit the bell so you're notified about all of our different programs coming up. Copy the link at the bottom to share with your friends, relatives, and neighbors so they can come check us out. Go to our social sites at Horse Race #2 Day and give us thumbs ups and likes. And then go ahead and keep these comments and picks coming. We enjoy seeing them. They help us out quite a bit.
One of our goals for next year is we hit 6,000 subscribers this year. I know it's a big, tall order, but 10,000 is the goal for 2025. And really the only way we can get to 2025 is with your help. A couple easy things you can do. Comments. We love them. It keeps the show, I think, a little bit more interesting. Also more interactivity. So any comments help us with our search engine score. So when people search for horse racing, we're better and more likely to pop up. Anytime you come back to watch a show, the best way to make sure you don't miss the show is to, as Terry said, subscribe. Sharing our content. So if you go on YouTube, you'll see a share button, copy the link, share it with your friends who like horse racing. If you're watching on Twitter, like many are right now, please hit the retweet button and follow us there. That way more people find us. It would absolutely greatly appreciate your assistance. All of those ways are free ways to help the show. Another way you can help the show is to head on over to Horse Racing Today to guarantee tip sheet. There's a link in the description below. A lot of big racing tomorrow on New Year's Day. We'll have some free tracks over there. When the show is over on horseracingtoday.net, there will be a replay along with all of our comments. You'll see them right here. When you're there, hit the HRT gear. Get yourself something to look fantastic, like Terry does when he wears those baby blues, or you can get yourself a really nice see you in the winner's circle hat. Nothing wrong with that. Final race today, Terry, race number 10. Tell us the conditions for the final one.
Okay, we're going to go back out to 1 mile and 70 yards, claiming race 12,500 to purse 23,000 for 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
So $170 in this claiming 12,500 race. Early speed, 37% of the time, wire to wire. But as Scary Creations has got the weather forecast correct and the rain comes, don't be surprised if closers on the outside do the best. Post positions are mostly fair so far. A little bit of a rail bonus for Check It Up. 4 through 7, a little bit of a discount. For the last time in 2024, Terry, who's going to get the lead?
Well, that 7 shows lots of speed compared to everything else in there, although all of them show some speed, but the 6. The 1 has an overlay from 7 to 2 to 5 to 1. The 5 has an overlay from 4 to 1 to 6 to 1. All but the 2, 9, 11, and 12 have par plus numbers, and all but the 6 have C zones.
And for the last time in 2024, a race shape. Look, a bunch of speed in here. Everybody middle back. A lot of early speed. So from what I've read, and this is important, when you're ranking them out, you can, the top 2 horses in your early speed, the ones you think are going to get the lead, you can hang on to those. Sure looks like Carbonite's the quickest of the best. The 3rd and 4th options, if they need to be forward, they can struggle. So that looks like maybe the 2 horse might be in that position. We'll see. At the end of the race, 28 to 3, yes. Reference to that Super Bowl between the Falcons and the Patriots, but plenty of very similar late legs here. So having the early edge might be the best edge to have. Look at all these horses within a few points. Looks like the Speedster, Terry, might be able to hang on at the end. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. The 4 is my top choice, Ira the Icon. He's won 1 race out of his last 4 starts, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Dr. Bater, the 5 is my second choice, ran second in his last race, can handle today's distance. And then the 2 is my third choice. He drops in class today, should improve while returning to a route. Booster Shot, the 8 is my long shot, drops in class today and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. That's it for me today.
And in 2024, I like the 10 horse in there is my top choice. 28-3. It is a class dropper in this race, lowest level of its career. Many times horses facing the lightest company also find the winner's circle. Their confidence returns. Ira the Icon, the 4 horse, that one is another class dropper in here. Running much better final time last time out relative to the last time it ran a mile and 70 yards. Dance a Dinny, the 11 horse. Gotta love that name in some respect. Aside from the 10, it's the only other horse in this race that's hit par for this level. And then finally, Carbonite, the 7 horse. Maybe way too much early speed. If early speed can hang on at some point today over the rest of the field, Terry. And that wraps it up for what's been a fun year in 2024. Here are our final set of picks in race number 1. Who won the first race, Terry? The 6 horse won the first race.
Yeah, it did, yes.
Then the 9 horse won the second race. Here's the way we see the rest of the day playing out. Terry, any final thoughts from you before we start to prepare for 2025?
Well, I want to just tell everybody have a really good New Year's Eve. Don't get too drunk and be careful. Watch out with those fireworks and stuff.
Well,
And
sometimes they're not fireworks where I live, Terry.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. And then go ahead and, have a great 2025, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah, indeed. We're hoping to have a fantastic. There'll be a lot of new things coming in 2025 that maybe you'll see as early as Thursday. We shall see. No matter what you're doing, as Terry said, make sure you have a safe, fun time with your family to get the end of 2025, anytime end of 2024 done, and then the beginning of 2025 started. No matter what you are resoluting to do in the new year, we certainly hope it has God's grace, God's favor, and that every pick from now until we get back together again on Thursday ends up in one place only, Terry, and that can only be
the winner's circle.
Yes, indeed. We'll see you Thursday. Enjoy the New Year's celebration.